Hey guys, this is Michael, teacher turned trucker. This is going to be a very different video. It's one more of who I am as a Christian. This is more of a devotional, and it's really going to be talking about a text that's been sticking with me for quite a while in the last week or so. And it starts in verse 9 of John chapter 15. And so I'm going to be looking off screen to read a little bit, and then I'll come back to the camera and talk about it some. It says, just as the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Remain in my love. If you obey my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. So the key word here in this text is remain, and another word is love. And as I think about this and meditate on it, and I've read some of the commentaries, I keep coming to that word remain or abide. And there's this sense of obedience where we have the commandments of God that are telling us how to live our lives. But the undertone in the thinking is, how do I do this? And that's where the idea of this love comes in, because the love of God is what's enabling us to do so. It's his means to us as his children to obey. So it's kind of like a wheel, a cycle. The more we seek to obey, the more we remain in his love. And as we remain in his love, we're made able to obey and to keep his commandments. To be very clear, this doesn't mean perfection in the life of a Christian. I'm not one that believes that a child of God is made perfect in this world such that we never do wrong. That's always what we're aiming for, but we don't reach it in this world. But we are not to be content with the nature of doing wrong. For example, if I happen to have a struggle with lying, the goal isn't to accept that that's just who I am, because Christ working within us, this love of Christ working in us, would be helping me to shed and to put off the habit of lying. So as we grow in our relationship with Christ, we should become more and more like him. You're going to see some people whose change is very drastic, especially around the time of their conversion, because their eyes are open in a way to see God that beforehand they were not able to. Beforehand, I was not able to. And we can get into more of this a little bit later, but this is the text that I wanted to really talk about. But it's also really neat. Let me look back over here. That phrase, just as the Father, or in as much as, or in the same manner as God loved me, the Son, I also have loved you. And this phrase has really set my mind wondering and thinking. I don't know. I know one of the commentaries I read about it said this is not talking about in the same degree that God the Father loved God the Son, and then therefore God the Son loved us. Because when you start talking degrees, you're talking scope. We cannot love in the same degree that God does, because we still live in these sinful bodies. So it's not degree that we're called to love. It's in the manner, in the practice, in the love itself is it's more than type. It's I think scope is a good word that goes there. Motive. The love itself is the driving force. So just some thoughts. And I know you guys can tell as you're watching, hopefully, I'm still working through this, and it's really exciting because the more my eyes are turned to God, the less I'm focused on the struggles of the day. And it's just really neat to see how obstacles can come into our lives and how we are able to encounter those obstacles and not be overwhelmed, because they're going to come. This life isn't about happy-go-lucky. Now I'm a Christian, so now everything's going to be wonderful and peachy. No, it actually says in Scripture that you will encounter tribulation as my child. The world hated me, they will hate you. The world persecuted me, they will persecute you. And we're starting to see that more and more here in America. It's becoming less subtle, and it's becoming more open. So definitely, guys, this is a different style of video. This is one I'd probably like to do a lot more of also, because of the idea of being on the road, the quiet time, the time with God and His Word. It's very, very important that we maintain that relationship above all else, because it's out of that relationship, it's with that access and the obedience and to the love of Christ that everything else flows. So comments, questions, suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Again, this is Michael, teacher turned trucker, with a different type of video. This is definitely more of my heart and where I'm at. So let me know what you think. Talk to you guys.